Waking up in the morning can be a challenge, can't it? Often, the first thoughts that come to our minds are worries, anxieties, and tasks that seem impossible to resolve. The alarm goes off, and instead of feeling gratitude for a new day, it's common to feel overwhelmed. This morning routine, filled with dilemmas and uncertainties, can distract us from the purpose we have ahead. But what if we started the day differently? What if, instead of letting ourselves be burdened by worries, we found a space for trust? Imagine waking up and, instead of worrying about what you cannot control, choosing to surrender everything to something greater. What are you facing today that seems impossible to resolve? This is the question I want you to carry with you as we reflect together. Trust is a choice, and this choice can transform not only our mornings but our lives. By trusting, we open the door to hope and the possibility that, even in the most complicated situations, there is a solution. In this video, we will explore how this trust can be the key to dealing with adversities and how prayer can help us find that inner peace. Together, we will discover that by trusting, we can receive everything we need to face seemingly insurmountable challenges. Sometimes worries seem to surround us like heavy clouds, obscuring our vision and leaving us restless. It is in these moments that we find a powerful truth in the Scriptures. In Philippians chapter 4, verses 6-7, we are invited not to be anxious about anything. Instead, we are instructed to present our anxieties and needs. This passage reminds us that we can bring everything that troubles us before something greater. Now let's listen to these words. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, let your requests be made known to God by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. This guidance is so relevant today, isn't it? We live in a world full of uncertainties, where pressures seem to grow each day. Bills to pay, relationships to nurture, decisions to make, all of this can create a heavy burden on our shoulders. When we allow ourselves to enter this cycle of worry, we forget that there is an alternative: surrendering our anxieties. By doing so, we are not only releasing a burden but also making space for something new, the peace that comes from trusting. Imagine how your morning would be if, instead of being consumed by fear or anxiety, you directed your worries in prayer. This practice may not change reality immediately, but it transforms our perspective. As we surrender our concerns, we begin to experience a peace that, as the passage says, surpasses all understanding. It is this peace that allows us to face challenges with courage and hope, even when everything seems impossible. So as you wake up today, remember that you don't have to carry the weight of anxiety alone. By surrendering your worries, you open yourself to receive the tranquility that can make all the difference in your day. How can you apply this practice of surrender in your life? What would you like to place in the hands of something greater at this moment? Trust is a fundamental principle that can transform the way we face life. It is important to understand that trusting does not mean we will not have problems. In fact, life is filled with challenges and uncertainties. However, trust is a choice we make, a decision to believe in something greater than ourselves. This choice allows us to face challenges with a new perspective, knowing we are not alone and that there is a purpose in every situation. To cultivate trust, it is essential to start small. Instead of waiting for big changes, we can focus on the little things in our daily lives. For example, upon waking up, instead of letting yourself be consumed by tasks and worries, you can take a moment to reflect on the things you are grateful for. This simple practice not only changes your mood, but also opens space for trust. When you focus on what is positive, you nurture your faith and prepare yourself to face the challenges that arise. Another practical example is during a difficult conversation. Often we are afraid to express our feelings or opinions, fearing rejection or conflict. But when we choose to trust our voices and the other person's intention to listen, we are practicing trust. It is a small act that can have a significant impact on our relationships. Trust also manifests in our daily decisions. When making choices, instead of being driven by the fear of what might go wrong, we can choose to believe that, regardless of the outcome, we will learn and grow from the experience. This trust in the small things accumulates and prepares us to face the more challenging situations. Remember, trusting is an act of courage. It is a choice we can make every day, with each dawn. By deciding to trust, we are opening the doors to peace and clarity amidst the storm. How can you apply this practice of trust in your life today? What small steps can you take to exercise this faith on your journey? Imagine yourself in the Valley of Elah, where tension hangs in the air. On one side is the army of Israel, filled with brave yet terrified men. On the other side is the giant Goliath, an unbeatable warrior, challenging anyone to fight him. The story of David, a young shepherd with a fearless heart, teaches us about the essence of trust in God, even when hope seems lost. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 46 to 50, David stands and says, "Today, the Lord will deliver you into my hands." David was not a trained soldier. He was just a simple shepherd. He brought with him only a sling and some stones, but what set him apart was his unwavering faith. He was not intimidated by the size of the challenge, but looked beyond appearances. This courage to face the impossible is something we can apply in our lives. David trusted that God was with him, and that trust brought victory. Today, many of our struggles may seem as great as Goliath. It could be a financial problem, a strained relationship, or a challenge at work. And just like David, we are invited to focus on what we have rather than what we lack. True strength comes from our faith and our willingness to confront our giants with confidence. Furthermore, the story reminds us that even when we face seemingly insurmountable challenges, our faith can lead us to victory. When David launched the stone, he not only knocked down Goliath, but also inspired an entire people to believe again. What lessons can we draw from this? How can we, like David, refuse to be paralyzed by fear and instead seek the courage to act? Therefore, when you wake up and face your daily battles, remember David's courage. You too can overcome what seems impossible by trusting in something greater. May you find the strength today to confront your challenges, knowing that trust can transform what seems to be an end into a new beginning. One morning, a woman woke up with a weight on her heart. She had recently lost her job, and the bills were piling up. Worries followed her like shadows, whispering that the future was uncertain and bleak. As she prepared her coffee, tears began to stream down her face. How will I get through another day like this? She wondered, feeling alone and desperate. She then decided to take a different step. Instead of allowing anxiety to consume her, she found a space for prayer. She sat at the table, took a deep breath, and began to speak to something greater, surrendering her worries and insecurities. "I don't know what to do," she confessed, "but I need help." In that moment of vulnerability, something surprising happened. A wave of peace began to fill her heart. She remembered the words from Philippians and realized she had the power to present her anxieties. In the days that followed, she still faced difficulties, but now there was a new element in her journey. Trust began to replace doubt. Amid interviews and rejections, she remembered David's courage in facing a giant without fear. "If David can, I can too," she thought. With every small step, even when things didn't go as planned, she clung to her faith, believing that the solution was on its way. Finally, after weeks of struggle, an unexpected opportunity arose. It was not just a job, but a space where she could grow and feel valued. Looking back, she realized that the real transformation began when she decided to trust and surrender her worries. The spiritual lesson she took with her was clear. Even in the most challenging situations, trust can open doors that seemed closed. Trust does not eliminate problems, but gives us the strength to face them with courage and hope. And so upon waking up, she knew that no matter what came her way, nothing was impossible for those who surrender their worries with an open heart. Now, I invite you to get comfortable, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Feel what it is like to be present in this moment, here and now. What worries are weighing on your heart? What would you like to surrender today? Visualize those worries as dark clouds that you can let go of. Imagine them floating away from you, while a space of tranquility opens in your mind. Allow yourself to feel that lightness. Ask yourself, how can I trust more in situations that seem impossible? Reflect on a challenge you are facing. What do you need to remember to find courage? Trust is a choice, and with every breath, you have the opportunity to choose to believe that there is a solution. As you open your eyes, carry with you that feeling of surrender and peace, knowing that by trusting, you can receive what you need to face your day. Today, I come before you with a heart full of gratitude. I thank you for this new day and for the opportunity we have to start anew. I appreciate the small joys that often go unnoticed, like the aroma of coffee in the morning and the soft light streaming through the window. May we recognize these blessings in our lives. Today, I want to confess that I often let worries overwhelm me. Instead of surrendering my fears, I end up trying to solve them on my own. Lord, help me remember that I do not have to carry this weight alone. May I learn to trust in you, even when challenges pile up before me. I ask for help so that instead of being consumed by anxiety, I can present my worries to you with faith. May I feel the peace that surpasses all understanding as promised in the Scriptures. Help me let go of what I cannot control and embrace what is possible. Today I surrender to you my deepest anxieties, those that make me feel overwhelmed and unable to move forward. Help me see beyond what seems impossible. May I find courage, just like David, to face my giants with confidence and determination. May each challenge become an opportunity for growth and learning. Finally, I offer my life and my efforts to you. May my actions reflect the trust I am seeking to cultivate. May I be an instrument of peace and hope, not only for myself, but for those around me. As I conclude this prayer, I leave my wish that we may all wake up each day ready to trust and receive what is necessary to face what seems impossible. Amen. Throughout this video, we explored how trust can be a true transformer in our lives. We reminded ourselves that we are not alone in the face of challenges, as surrendering our worries opens space for peace and hope. Every small act of trust we cultivate, whether in prayer or daily actions, prepares us to face even the greatest challenges, like our giants. So may you remember today, nothing is impossible for those who trust. May you embrace the courage of David, allowing faith to guide your steps. May your journey be filled with experiences that reinforce this trust. If you felt touched by this message, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and share this video with those who need to hear this. We want to know, what is the giant you are currently facing? Leave your comment, and let's seek the strength to overcome it together. May peace and trust be with you.